deserve. So they got the job. So how do you work with them after that to ensure that they actually are successful on their new job, with onboarding and everything that happens?
So basically, I have a little bit of advice for people who are starting a new job is to open your eyes and keep your mouth shut is really the best advice. And deliver what you promised. If you know what you promised, then deliver, right? Get in there and figure out how to get it done. And that's really the advice that I give my clients. And often, not for you to tell you the truth, I hardly ever work with people once they get the job because most people think they're good at what they do, and once they get in, they're okay. So their biggest challenge is before they get the job. And I did want to share with everybody at Shining Stars a few things that I've found that surprise me, that I think will surprise the people writing resumes too, things that are mistakes you don't want to commit on your resume. Do you have a minute? Do you want me to cover a couple of mistakes, Nafia?
If you want,
Okay.
but I would rather just encourage people to work with you directly.
Uh-huh.
But go ahead, tell
I have,
us your top
well,
threes.
well, here's one. Many people in a Word document put in the header of the document their name, their first name, their last name, their address, their phone number, their email address. Well, guess what? If it's in the header, it is not picked up by the applicant tracking systems that are the online systems that read your resume.
Hmm.
So take your contact information and put it in the body of your resume, not in a header. You can use your header for page 2. That's fine. But on page 1, your contact information needs to be actually in the document. Otherwise, it's wasted paper. You wonder why you're not getting any results. There's one reason you're not getting
Hmm.
any results. Your personal information, you're married, you're single, your hobbies, we don't care unless your hobby happens to be what the job is all about. Okay. If that is your hobby, then yes, of course it's relevant. But if you're a polo player and you're trying to get a finance job, there's no connection, people. So it's irrelevant information. We don't need that. Uh, Anybody that puts references furnished upon request on their resume tells me that they are ancient, not old, really, really old, because that went out like 20 years ago. Because the fact of the matter is, you do not need to put that on your resume because we know you will provide us a reference if we ask you.
Okay.
It goes without saying. So you don't take the time to say it. So those are the top 3 I can tell you right now is to do all that.
As you're working with these employers and trying to find out what are their needs, what are their goals for, hiring new people, can you tell us what other attributes are they looking for, in the new prospect employees?
So what they're looking for is what I'm looking for when I'm recruiting, right? When I put my recruiter's hat on, what I'm looking for is a record of success, of enough time in each job for you to accomplish the job and then move on. I'm looking for no gaps. I'm looking for a good education, good college. We're looking for results, people that understand the business. No matter which part of the business you're involved in, you've got to understand the whole business so you understand how your part in the business makes an impact. A lot of resources, compensation people, business partners. So we have to find the people that have had success in those roles, maybe not zero, but a little bit of success. So those are the qualifications that I look for. I look for, just a good solid record of career success. That's the most important thing. When what else are we looking for? Excitement. If I talk to somebody about a job in Los Angeles and they're in Seattle, and by the second call, if they don't tell me they've looked at real estate in Los Angeles, I know they're not too excited about the job. So you have to show your excitement by, keeping in touch with the recruiter, making sure they know your availability for interviews. Uh, you know, communications are essential in every single job. So how you communicate is evaluated from the first thing they read on your resume till the job offer gets to you. So it's very important that you are a good communicator. And when you have a recruiter, you're very fortunate because the recruiter is your buffer to help you be a better communicator. The recruiter is doing the job of promoting you once. But I think people are confused about recruiters, and I think I'll take a minute, if you don't mind, just to tell you, recruiters don't work for people, they work for companies. They
Right.
don't find, somebody asked me to find somebody a job yesterday. I said, I don't find people jobs. I coach people to find a good job, and I don't find jobs for people. I find people for
Yeah,
jobs, specific people for specific jobs. So that's the difference.
very clear. Yes.
Recruiters really do not work for any individuals. If you find a company that does that, you will pay them lots of money, and I'm not sure who they are and what results you'll get. Sorry.
Thank you very much for explaining that. So, yeah, communication, that's a big one. Definitely, that's where a lot of my clients need help with communication and time management. And whether you think you are really good at communicating or time management, there's always room for you to, grow. So, for that reason, I created my time management system. And, people always tell me that that has been one of the main determining factor to help them get better jobs and become more successful in their career. So I agree with you on that.
Yes, communications, time management, excitement. Nobody wants to hire somebody that's going to come into the office and be, full of drama or challenged. One of the things I find that job seekers tend to do because they're excited is they overwhelm the people they're working with when they have a problem with technology or scheduling. Like people will say, well, I might have to go to the doctor tomorrow at 10 a.m. I don't know if I can talk to you at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'm like, okay, I don't want to know that. All I want to know is, would 3 o'clock work for you? Because I can't do 10 o'clock. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear your stories. I don't want your drama. And I don't want you to be excuse the expression, PETA, pain in the ass is PETA. And basically, if you're already showing signs while we're scheduling interviews, you're just not going to be desirable. So don't tell people information they don't need to know until they need to know it.
Wow, that's actually a very good point. I totally understand what you're saying. And if you're going out of your way to just do the talking and tell your employer how wonderful and amazing you are and how you're a multitasker and how you have great time management skills. And then when you're put to test, you're finding all the excuses for not, producing the results, then, all the talking is useless. So thank you for sharing that. That's so important. I think that is very, very important. The attitude, the communication, being excited, being honest with yourself, knowing what you want. And,
Yes.
I think I always tell people when I need help, sometimes I hire people in contract basis. So for, short projects, I tell them it has to be a win-win. You're helping me, I'm helping you. It's not rocket science. So just be honest. I will help you if you want to help yourself. I will teach you something if you're sincere and you tell me I need help, here. But if you're pretending like you know everything and you're just doing the talking, it's not good. So,
So,
yeah, we have so much
it's
to
a good
learn.
point. Yes, exactly. And I'll tell you, in that light, about not being drama or not giving them more information, I tell people this all the time. I say, don't answer the phone. If you don't know who's on the other end of that phone, when you answer that phone, they have the power, the people calling. So you want to know who's on the other end of the phone when you're in job search mode specifically, because you want to be able to be in control. I have caught people on the checkout line at Walmart, right? And they're trying to talk to me, feed a baby and check themselves out at Walmart. I'm like, I got people to tell me things that they weren't ready to tell me because they were caught short because they answered the phone when I called to recruit them. So I say, you have control. Trust me. If the reason people answer the phone when they're job searching is because they need a job. They want to move things forward. I understand that. But I will tell you that you will not be doing your own self the best service by not being in control. And by the way, if they're calling you, not leaving a good message, and you think you're going to miss that job, I'm going to tell you that's a favor to yourself. Because anybody that calls you and doesn't leave a message is not really recruiting. They're just pulling live bodies into their sphere, right? A real recruiter knows how to leave a good message. And that's one of the best indicators of a good recruiter. How good are your messages? How many returns do you get on your calls? So you see, it works both ways, right?
Well, thank you so much, Kathy. It's been a pleasure talking to you and getting to learn more about your job. And honestly, you gave us more information that we could have asked you, or, we should have asked you, but we didn't. So you filled in some very important blanks for us. And if anybody has more questions for Kathy, please reach out to her. Either through Shining Stars Connect or through your website, which is, Kathy, how do people reach out to you?
mycareerteam.com.
Awesome. And I, of course, invite everybody to order her amazing book and just, get to know more about the 5-step process that she mentioned. But most importantly, I think, to take full advantage of this wonderful coach here, you have to meet with her and, get some good coaching for you, no matter where you are in your career journey. So thank you again to everybody. And it was a pleasure. We appreciate
Thanks so much, Nafia. It's great seeing you again. And I look forward to continuing our coaching and working together.
Yes.